You hate me, don't you?
Kons Podcast.
You hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
You hate me, don't you?
Constant content. Podcast.
For 50 Cent, people were looking at him crazy, you know what I'm saying? He be posting these pics and all that of him looking crazy, you know what I mean? But he studied Drake, you know what I mean? Went on Bobby Altoff and he recently opened up and said how he felt away when he being called a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? Ghostface, you know what I'm saying? Ghostface was stopped on the street, you feel me? And was asked about this, you know what I'm saying? Was asked about what he felt. 49ers, you know what I'm saying? 49ers game yesterday against the you know what I mean? The Seacocks is what I like to call them, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to lose that 45 pounds in a few days, you know what I'm saying? A week or something, you know what I mean? Something that they're going to have some type of Yeah, what's going on? What's happening with y'all? Y'all know what it is. It is Kons Podcast, episode 298. What's going on? What's happening? You know what I mean? It's definitely cooling off. It was a fine Monday, you know what I'm saying? Monday, we are back at it. Hope y'all had a cool weekend, you know what I mean? Hope y'all did what y'all wanted to do. Hope y'all kicked y'all feet up, you know what I'm saying? Hope y'all had a nice, productive week last week, you know what I mean? Hope you was earning achievements and certificates and promotions at your job and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a new week. It's Monday, you feel me? So hopefully it's a good Monday. Everybody starting off the week cool, you feel me? By the time that you see this later on tonight, you know what I'm saying? Hope you done had a good Monday, you feel me? It's September 8th. You know what I'm saying? The heat is cooling off. You know what I mean? Sacramento out here in California, we done got a break from it. You know what I'm saying? It's usually we are at 100 plus degrees for some 20 plus days by now. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't had none of that. We had about 3 or 4 days that was 100 plus. You know what I mean? And when you look at the weather on your apps, you know what I'm saying? You can see the upcoming days. It ain't even finna be 90. I think we only got 90 days, 2 days, and that's the weekend. All throughout the week, it's mid 80s, low 80s, 79. Oh, I'm loving it. You know what I mean? I hope it stay like that. But the weather is definitely finna be dwindling off because we finna hit the next season and it's finna be gone. So I'm glad we got a break from all that heat this year around. You know what I mean? 2025. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed last episode last week on a Friday. You feel me? I hope y'all enjoyed 297. You know what I'm saying? But it's a new week. You know what I mean? New day. Got a new episode for you. You know what I'm saying? Episode 298. Today, I'm going to let you know we going to go over, you know what I'm saying? 50 Cent is finna be starred in a role on a movie that we done all seen, a classic game. We're going to be a classic character. We're going to touch on that and who he playing. Also, Drake opened up on the Bobby Altoff show. We all know that's where Bobby Altoff started. Her first podcast was with Drake as well. You know what I mean? So she started something new and opened it up with Drake, and he had to say something about how he felt about what he was being called during the Kendrick and Drake beef. You know what I'm saying? We're going to touch on that. And Ghostface was stopped on the street and asked what he felt about what Drake said. And he had some words to say about what Drake said. You know what I mean? We're going to get into that. Then I'm going to definitely touch on the 49ers. You know what I mean? Definitely got to touch on my team and how we did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all know how this goes. It goes on into the final thoughts on the topics that we just had. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the topics we're going to go over today. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, without no more chit chat or banter, you know what I mean? Let's jump right into. So if this your first time here, you know what I'm saying? In case you wondering, you just subscribed, you know what I mean? You just tuned in, you just sat down. This your first episode, you know what I mean? This your first episode at 298. You know what I mean? First of all, where you been? You know what I'm saying? But if this your first episode and you wondering what we do, this is what we do on this podcast. You know what I mean? I go over the news, current events, headlines, stuff that done made a headline, stuff that done been in your face whenever you logged on the computer. You know what I'm saying? Whether your homepage, MSNBC, Yahoo News, you know what I'm saying? Your homepage could be Hip Hop DX, whatever headline that was hitting you in your optical. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably touching on one or two other headlines right here on Kons Podcast. You know what I mean? So hit that follow button, subscribe button. You know what I mean? Tell your people about it. I'm hitting you with episodes Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? Your hood journalist keeping you updated on what's going on in this wicked world, you know what I mean? But yeah, without further ado, though, let's jump into these topics for today, you know what I mean? So 50 Cent, people been looking at him crazy, you know what I'm saying? He be posting these pics and all that of him looking crazy, you know what I mean? But he's studying or working out or putting on makeup for this role. They doing another Street Fighter, you know what I mean? 50 Cent is playing the classic character that we all know from Street Fighter, the boxer, balrog. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent gonna be playing him along with some other stars that they got playing the other characters. They got some big dude that's playing Zangief, some 7-foot dude, you know what I mean? A whole different cast that we ain't never seen. Ken and Ryu, bunch of dudes we ain't never seen before, you know what I mean? So it's looking kind of cool, looking kind of dope so far. 50 Cent is about the only dude that we gonna recognize, you know what I'm saying? He also got another show coming out called How to Catch a Killer, you know what I'm saying? That's another show that he got coming out in the midst of the movie dropping next year. This How to Catch a Killer drop, I believe it's either out or it's coming out later on this year, you know what I mean? But in these next clips you're about to see, you know what I'm saying? You're about to see the clips on the Street Fighter of him playing the balrog character, and then you're gonna see a clip of talking about how to catch a killer. Check these clips out.
Street Fighter is getting a movie, and the cast is one of the craziest casts that I've ever seen. And there's a whole lot of names, and I'm here to break it all down for you guys. First of all, we have Ryu, played by Andrew Koji, who's known from Snake Eyes, Bullet Train, a few other movies like that. And we have Noah Centineo, who's playing Ken. He's been in things like Black Adam, and he's also going to be playing the new Rambo. Karina Liang is going to be playing Chun-Li. She, of course, was in the movie Presence, which is one of the most creative horror movies that I've ever seen. WWE champion Cody Rhodes will be playing Gilly. Orville Peck, the country singer, will be playing Vega. 50 Cent is in this film, and he's playing Balrog. Jason Momoa, of course, Aquaman, will be playing Blanca. I hope that they paint him green. Vidyet Jamal is actually a Bollywood actor, and he'll be playing Dialsman. Pardon my pronunciation. And Oliver Richters, who is known as the Dutch Giant in real life, I think he's 7'2". He's playing Zangief. He's been in a few things like Black Widow, but he's more known for being a Dutch bodybuilder. Hiroki Goto is playing E Honda, he's a Japanese wrestler. David Dastmalchian will be playing M. Bison. He was, of course, Polka Dot Man. He's one of my favorite movies of last year, The Late Night with the Devil. I find this casting really weird, but I guess we'll see how it goes. WWE wrestler Roman Reigns will be playing Akuma. Stand-up comedian Andrew Schultz will be playing Dan Hibiki. Comedian and voice actor Eric Andre will be playing Don Savage. He, of course, was just in Ironheart. That's probably his most notable recent thing. He's been in a lot of TV shows. He was also in all the Jackass movies. Mel Jardson is playing Cammy. She's actually an Australian actress, and she has been in Beast, which just came out with Idris Elba. Raina Vallandigham will be playing Julie, and she is a martial artist. And UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski will be playing Joe. I love the cast of this movie. I mean, we have some wrestlers, we have some comedians, we have some actual actors. It is the perfect mix for a Street Fighter film, and I think this is going to be one of the most fun films of 2026. Let me know in the comments down below who you think is the best cast, and of course make sure to follow and subscribe to Stewie Reviews because I have so much more content.
50 Cent is officially making a major career switch into the world of true crime. The legendary rapper just landed a new gig hosting a show called 50 Ways to Catch a Killer for Fox Nation. He's not just the face of it. His own company, G-Unit Film and Television, is co-producing the whole thing. The series promises a deep dive into some of America's most unforgettable and blood-curdling slayings. The first clip is already out, and it shows 50 chronicling the murder of Mike Williams. That's the Florida man who went missing back in 2000, and it took almost 2 decades for his body to even be found. 50 says true crime is powerful because it's about real people and real justice, and he wants to bring these stories to life in a way that's both gripping and authentic. The 6-episode series officially kicks off on September 16th. And just when you think that's all, get this. His next act is playing the boxer Balrog in the 2026 Street Fighter film. From rap mogul to crime show host to a video game fighter, 50 is seriously doing it all.
You know what I'm saying? That was 50 Cent. You know what I mean? 50 Cent playing balrog, and also his new show we got coming called How to Catch a Killer. Drake, you know what I mean, went on Bobby Altoff, and he recently opened up and said how he felt away when he being called a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? Said he felt away, said he was a little bit bothered by that. He was disturbed. He was hurt, he said. You know what I'm saying? And for lack of better words, without saying those exact words, that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt. hurt. He was bothered. He felt the way. You know what I'm saying? When people call him a culture vulture. You know what I mean? He goes on to talk about how he did so many favors for other rappers, so many other collabs, and they took it personal. You know what I'm saying? And just was in it for themselves type deal. This is the words that he was saying without using these exact words. You know what I'm saying? So these next little clips you're about to see is just him speaking on this, and also a dude named TRVP. You know what I'm saying? Trap. I usually use a bunch of his clips. You're gonna recognize him when you see him. You know what I'm saying? But in this clip, this is him speaking on this matter, and he gonna show you the clip of him on Bobby Altoff talking about how he bothered by being called a culture vulture. Check it out.
You're a culture vulture, or like like people will describe the collaborative efforts that I've put forth and the artists that I've picked up and lifted up or shine a light on as me taking, they'll put a negative spin on it and try and tell me, that it's a self-serving thing or whatever. And I think I get really sensitive about that. And I think at that moment I was just like, well, you know what? Then don't.
So it hurts Drake's feelings when people call him a culture vulture. In this interview with Bobby Altoff, someone who people feel like came out of nowhere and kind of blew up by using black people's culture. He sat down with her and talked to her. I'm just joking. Before I give my honest assessment of what Drake said, make sure you go join the Discord. It's linked in my bio, man. We talk about sports, we talk about music, we talk about all that. I'm getting everything set up this week, man. If there's ever a topic you want me to speak about and I have not spoken about it, you can add me on Discord and let me know there, because I'm not good at checking messages on here. I appreciate everybody who joined so far. Alright, so is Drake a culture vulture, right? This is the big question, right? Is Drake a culture vulture? Now, I made videos speaking about why I feel like Drake isn't per se culture, but is he a culture vulture? Now, he's not lying in the sense that he has helped put people on the map, or gave people bigger mainstream looks. That's the way I'm going to put it, right? He said put a spotlight on people or lift people up, right? Some people may look at that lift people up thing as a little disingenuous, right? Because a lot of people feel like Migos would have been Migos whether Drake came or not. I mean, like things like that, right? But he did give them a mainstream look faster than they would have gotten it. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't fault him for that. When it comes to the culture vulture topic, it's like this, like, remember when Drake did the Iceman episode 1 and I reacted to when that kid pulled up and called Drake a word and Drake rolled the window down and said, then come over here, fam, or something like that. And he had a different accent. And I was like, what's Drake's real accent, right? Because sometimes Drake talks like a Valley girl. Like he's sitting down with Bobby Altoff, right? So he sounds like, his voice sounds a certain way. But then if he's with Lil Yachty or Young Thug or somebody, he sounds like he's from Atlanta, right? And then when he's with Party Next Door, he sounds like he's from Toronto. And then sometimes he sounds like he's speaking patois and Jamaican, right? And it's like, I don't even know who the real you is, right? It's just like, whoever you are, you're like a chameleon. And it's actually good that you could do that and create these different types of sounds and different music. I'm not knocking you for that. But it's like you feeding off these different cultures. Like you go to Houston and you're a Houstonian, you feel me? And it's just like, who are you for real? It's like you getting a little fan base from here, you getting a little fan base from there. Can we knock you for that? I don't know. Some people find you to be a culture vulture. You feel me? Like Sauce Walker don't mess with the way you use Houston sound, but you ain't really, you feel me? Look out for people. People in Atlanta don't love you because you put a lot of money in their pockets. That's undeniable. And then Kendrick spin on that was the whole last verse and not like us, man. It's just like, it's perception, gang. It's perception. You feel me? Like Bobby Altoff, she blew up by using Funny Marco's comedic style and then interviewing with a bunch of people relevant in the black culture community. So people felt like she was a culture vulture. That's why, because she built her relevance upon our culture. But did she do anything for our culture? Did she speak about anything for our culture? Does she actually care about our culture? That's the thing. That's when you look at somebody as a culture vulture. And you feel me? Some people feel like Drake has done a lot for the culture. Some people feel like Drake has done nothing for the culture. And that's why we are where we are. People are going to get mad at me for this take. I don't really care. Till next time, I'm out of here. Make sure you hit that follow button. Yeah, shit.
As you seen, you know what I'm saying? That was Drake, you know what I mean? Let you know how he felt about when he be called a culture vulture, despite him going into different accents whenever he's in different areas of the world. Ghostface, you know what I'm saying? Ghostface was stopped on the street, you feel me? And was asked about this, you know what I'm saying? Was asked about what he felt about Drake and how he feel about him being called a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? And Ghostface definitely has some words, you know what I mean? One of the words he said was that he been called worse, you know what I mean? And also said some other things about how he felt on the matter. This was him, somebody caught him going in some studio or some building or something like that, you know what I'm saying? He got some quick little questions in with him real quick. So this next little clip you're about to see is the clip of him and what he said about what Drake said about how he felt about being called a culture vulture. Check it out.
How you doing, up?
Good. Did you hear about Drake being sensitive about being a culture vulture?
Happy about who?
Drake.
What about him?
He opened up on a podcast saying that like he's sensitive about people calling him a culture vulture.
Oh, man, listen, they call worse than that, man. You need to chill out, you know?
You see, you know what I'm saying? That was Ghostface Killer, you know what I mean? Coming into the building and got caught up by somebody who asked some quick questions about what he felt about Drake, how he felt about being called a culture vulture, you know what I mean? Told him he need to chill out. 49ers, you know what I'm saying? 49ers game yesterday against the you know what I mean? The Seahawks is what I like to call them, you know what I'm saying? But the Seahawks, you know what I mean? They had a game yesterday. It was game 1, week 1. You know what I'm saying? Played against the Seahawks and won. You know what I mean? We beat them, what was it, 21-24, something like that, something around that nature, you know what I mean? It was a gritty game, close game, but we knew it was going to be a struggle. You know what I'm saying? We knew it was going to be a struggle, especially how it is. It always is like that with the Seahawks, you know what I mean? So yeah, we ended up coming out and beating them, you know what I mean? 17-13, you know what I'm saying? We knew it was going to be a gritty one, knew it was going to be a grind. You know what I mean? It's always a grind whenever we play the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? We battle with them back and forth. They are rivals. You know what I'm saying? But it was a cool game, though. Ricky Pearsall definitely has some dope catches. Jake Moody still needs to be fired. He is still missing field goals out here. We lost George Kittle. You know what I'm saying? A pulled hamstring week 1. That's not something that you want to see. Somebody like George Kittle go out week 1. You know what I'm saying? Ricky McCaffrey definitely had a dope game, you know what I mean? Brock threw 2 picks though, you know what I'm saying? But we still was able to fight and pull it through and come out with the dub, you know what I mean? So these next little clips you're about to see is just a clip of the Coher show talking about Purdy and a few clips of the highlight from yesterday's game. Check it out.
Purdy sidearms it to McCaffrey. Good open field tackle. Purdy's given time. Wants it all. Downfield. Pearsall's got it. Ricky Pearsall.
This is fantastic. Seattle only brings 4 rushers. Woolen misjudges that ball. They got to go for 7.
Fake to McCaffrey. Now throw it underneath. It's
this is critical down here to pick up yards.
He's well protected. Underneath he goes. And that is Tonjes. Handed off to McCaffrey. Short. Purdy steps up. Has McCaffrey inside the 5.
Going for the win.
He swings out into the end zone. Wasn't open. Purdy keeping it alive. Brock Purdy lofts one. And it's Tonjes. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Brock Purdy had 2 picks, but I thought it was one of the more impressive outings I've ever seen for Brock Purdy. Everything's going against him. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, their offensive line's not great. I mean, he's running for his life. If he couldn't move, they would be in major trouble. I mean, his mobility and keeping plays alive. He's got a little gunslinger in him. I always said, like, you got to play like Breeze, no turning the ball over, a little like Rodgers, never put the ball in harm's way. He easily could have got into the tank after both interceptions, and he keeps swinging.
That was the 49ers little highlights of the grit and grinding game that we played yesterday. Played all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? Had to put it out and come together as a real team to get the job done, you know what I mean, to get our week 1 started off the right way with a win, you know what I'm saying? But that's all the topics I have for today, you know what I mean? Definitely look forward towards tomorrow. Definitely gonna be adding something about tech or AI in tomorrow's episodes for sure, you know what I'm saying? Being that I didn't touch on none of that today, but I told you I'm gonna keep you updated on that AI situation because I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So in today's episode, though, I'll let you know that 50 Cent, reason why he been looking weird in these pics that you've been seeing circulating is because he gonna be balrog. He gonna play balrog from Street Fighter coming out next year. You know what I'm saying? Also let you know that Drake opened up on the Bobby Altoff show, the new little podcast that she got going, and said he felt the way about being called a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? Said he was disturbed by it after all the help he did to all the artists. You know what I mean? Also let you know that Ghostface was stopped on the street and asked about what Drake said. You know what I mean? And Ghostface said he need to chill out and said he been called worse. Also let you know that the 49ers came out with a win in week 1, and Jake Moody definitely still needs to be fired. He is still missing field goals. You know what I mean? That's all the topics I have for today for episode 298. So for the final closing thoughts, you know what I'm saying? For the final thoughts, the closing thoughts, however you want to word them words, you know what I mean? It's time for that part of the show, you know what I'm saying? So 50 Cent, you know what I mean? 50 Cent, a lot of people have been talking a whole lot about his appearance and the way he been looking in a lot of these pics, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people saying, oh, he looking old, he looking this and that, you know what I mean? But a lot of people got to realize, you know what I'm saying, whenever these actors get to losing super weight or becoming skinny or looking old, looking a certain kind of way, you can always guarantee that they are doing that for some type of role, you know what I'm saying? We got to understand these actors and big time artists make millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? So if they need to lose 45 pounds, they're going to lose that 45 pounds in a few days, you know what I'm saying, a week or something, you know what I mean, something that they're going to have some type of high-paid nutritionist, some type of high-paid doc or somebody in the highest-paid realm, you know what I'm saying, that's best at what they do, going to get that pounds down for sure, for the sake of making them millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, these people are products, they are brands, you know what I mean, so they are about that bag, along with their team, their agents, managers, all that is about that bag, so everybody can be paid, you know what I mean? So a lot of these times these celebrities be doing this, looking wild and looking this and that and losing a bunch of weight. People get to talking a bunch of and talking this and that because they look different than what they might know, you know what I'm saying? It's usually always for some type of role, you know what I mean? So that's what it is with 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? He doing the role, finna play balrog, you know what I'm saying, along with the clip you seen with all the other actors. So I think that's dope. I think the Street Fighter movie gonna be dope. I think we need a new Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? We ain't seen a dope Street Fighter movie since the 90s, you know what I'm saying? So I think it'd be dope to see what they can do with 2025 type of tech and you know what I mean, CGI, computer generated images on cinema, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll be dope to see for sure, you know what I'm saying? Drake was on the Bobby Altoff show getting intimate, had the whole little scenery. It was in a bed, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't seen it, you know what I mean, it was as you seen on the clip though, you know what I'm saying, or you'll probably see on the side of the screen here, you know what I'm saying, they are in a whole bed and he had that set up. It was an empty big room on some type of top floor with a view, you know what I'm saying, on a bed, and they laid there on the bed and was having this conversation, you know what I mean, and he got to getting in his feelings, saying about how he don't like being called a culture vulture. Man, look, man, the proof is there. I mean, come on, like, I mean, what are you talking about? Yo, we done heard you come off with about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different accents, depending on where you at in the world. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's vulturizing. That's vulture stuff. You feel me? Why you trying to fit in that hard? So we done heard you with a French accent. We done heard you with Canadian. We done heard you with a Southern accent. We done heard you with a New York accent. Like, come on. You not from none of the places that you are imitating accents from. You feel me? Like, when people looking in, I'm just saying, like, the people looking in with common sense is going to say, you feel me, that you being a vulture of the culture. I mean, you out here faking accents, my G. Like, come on. I don't know what else to say to that. Like, it's the same thing with this Young Thug stuff. Like, we heard the audio, like, you ratted. I don't know how else you can't move the goalposts on that. You said names and placed them at crime scenes. You feel me? That is ratting. You talking to law enforcement and said that. We got to start moving the goalposts. You know what I mean? Ratting is ratting. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. A culture vulture is a culture vulture. You know what I mean? Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who was vulturing, vampiring, off the culture. However way you want to put it, Adam 22. You know what I'm saying? He is a vulture of the culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we as black people, we understand. You know what I'm saying? We are this culture. I put the black episode out. You feel me? Y'all seen that episode? If y'all ain't go watch it, you know what I mean? Called the black episode. I don't remember what number it is. I put it up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? When I find it, I'll take a screenshot of it. You'll see it right here. You know what I'm saying? Go peep that episode though. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you know that we are the culture. So I understand, you know what I mean? We set these trends out here, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to follow and be just exactly and do what we do. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all have to understand, when y'all are being vultures though, don't be in denial. You know what I mean? Ghostface Killer was asked about this, you know what I mean, on the street, and said, what does he feel about what Drake said? You know what I mean? And he said he been called worse, which is facts. You've been called a whole PDF. You've been accused of touching on little girls and stuff like that out here, man. You feel me? I don't think being called a culture vulture should touch a nerve as much as what ain't touching the nerve of you being called a PDF. That's a little disturbing. That's a little suspect if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? You should be more disturbed by being called a PDF than getting on a podcast talking about how you disturbed by being called a culture vulture. We talking about somebody who fakes accents. Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? So Ghostface was like, you need to chill out, drop some of them lawsuits and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real though. You know what I'm saying? Stop being light skinned, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop them lawsuits. It don't make no sense you losing the battle and then you suing the person that, you know what I'm saying, you lost the battle to. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody understands it out here. You know what I mean? Everybody in the world that sees that is questioning it. We ain't never seen it. I mean, people my age, 35 and up, we are looking at this confused. You know what I mean? We are jaw dropped. We ain't never seen it. We've watched plenty of battle rap. We've even watched dudes get swung on in battle raps and not ever heard of a lawsuit, of an assault charge, none of that. But goddamn it, Drake, you got words thrown at you and you went to a court of law. Lord have mercy. So, yeah, Ghostface was about to ask the words for you, know what I mean? 49ers pulled out the win yesterday, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Y'all know I'm a diehard 49ers fan, you know what I mean? I love my team. We pulled it out. I was worried, you know what I'm saying? Because Jake Moody missing field goals. We need to fire that man. I don't know if he is being, you know, doing favors, if he doing sexual favors for staff members. Why are you still here? We the same team that has been known for the most cutthroat team in the NFL. You ain't performing. We are cutting you. Ask what's his name about it. Chase Young, dude, we cut to the Commanders. Ask Debo. You know what I'm saying? Debo had an explosive year. The next year he was he not explosive. What are you doing? Getting figured out, getting guarded, can't catch balls. We got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? We are the most cutthroat. You don't perform for the Niners, you out of here. That's what we known for. So why is Jake Moody still on the team? You feel me? You have missed critical field goals. You know what I'm saying? This is last season bleeding into this season. You missing critical field. You got one job. You don't even get banged up. It is illegal against the rules to fall into you. A defender can't even fall and touch your foot. It's a rule for that. And you missing field goals. I don't understand it. Why are you still on the team? I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Jed, York, Kyle Shanahan, what are y'all doing? You know, I don't know. Y'all are cut a linebacker. Y'all are cut a wide receiver. Y'all are cut a running back real fast. But why are you keeping Jake Moody? I don't understand. It's looking a little iffy and suspect-ish. Like, what are you doing, Jake Moody, to keep your job at the Niners to where you failing and you still on the team? I don't understand. Well, we are known for cutting you if you ain't performing. And goddamn it, you ain't been performing. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that? You feel me? That's all the questions I got. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know what's happening. Why are you still there? You should be fired. You know what I mean? That's a fact. I don't like wishing that on no man, but you'll be all right. You're in the NFL. Somebody going to pick you up. Another team going to need you and feel like they see potential and pick you up for sure. But as a Niner, you got to be cut, man. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. I think I speak for all Niner fans when I say that about Jake Moody. You know what I mean? You need to be up out of here, man. You're missing critical. You know what I mean? Critical. We could have won by a whole lot more if he would have made a couple of field goals. You know what I'm saying? But you missed two. Lord have mercy. But yeah, that's all I got, you know what I'm saying, for episode 298, you know what I mean? That's the closing thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, you know what I mean? As well, I know you could have been doing anything you wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? Whether you was a little brother or older sister, you know what I'm saying? Whether you was a cousin or older cousin, you could have been a big cousin, you could have been cousin Madman, cousin Pete, could have been cousin George, you could have been cousin PK, cousin Boo Boo, whoever you are, you know what I'm saying? You could have been auntie, uncle, you could have been grandma, grandpa, you know what I'm saying, mother, father. And if y'all got pets sitting there, you know what I'm saying, if your pet could be a cat, you have a pet squirrel, you could have a pet hedgehog, you have a pet fox, you know what I'm saying, you have a pet iguana, a pet bearded dragon, I mean, you have a pet peacock, god damn it, you know what I'm saying, whoever your pet is, you feel me, if they got Eyes on Kons Podcast right along with you, you know what I'm saying, salute to them like you see my nigga scrolling up that screen. You know what I'm saying? Giving you that good salute. You know what I mean? Kons Podcast, though, you know what I'm saying? It's been episode 298. How many podcasts you know gonna give you a shout out to your pet? God damn it, I'm giving your pet a shout out if your pet's sitting there watching this with you. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank all y'all for tuning in. This beat you hear creeping up was made by none other than Amazing Beats. You know what I'm saying? Thank all y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. It's been episode 298. See y'all next episode.
You hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
You hate me, don't you?
Constant motherfucking content.
You hate me, don't you? 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 You hate me, don't you?
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? Understand that? Understand that? Understand that?
You hate me, don't you?